Good morning. I'm MJ from Linus Publications. And this morning we're going to do just a little bit on Stephen Miller. We're going to look at some of his natal angles in his chart. And that helps to explain how he sort of presents himself. So without spending too much time on any preliminaries, let's sort of start taking a look at his angles. He's got Jupiter, which is opposing Mercury. And Mercury is, in effect, your communications, thought processes. What's Jupiter? Expansion, sometimes sort of gaseous. So in this case, it's in opposition. So it's a difficult angle. So it's sort of conflicting. Now, what does this mean? He's going to love intellectual sparring. So this is something that he will be good at, and he likes to have that confrontational type of communication. He likes, since Jupiter's involved here, he likes to frame his messages with a moral twist to it. And because Jupiter is there, everything is just very grandiose. So things may be over-exaggerated. There may be some liberties taken with the truth. And remember, Mercury likes to have things detailed, precise. Jupiter is sort of like overinflated. So think of that in the way he communicates, and you can see that coming across. Now, some other things that come about here is think of it as sort of a contradiction between facts and ideas, also between messages and meanings, also between precision and scope. So you can see where he sort of tends to go towards the Jupiter end, which is, okay, facts don't really matter, but he's going to be so grandiose that he's going to weave what he believes to be facts in there. Now, it can be controversial. You can have poor judgment. Going to tend to overpromise again because that Jupiter there, he's going to be contradictory and he's also going to be controversial. So all of that comes along with that. Now, he also has Mars squaring Saturn. This is, it's a little bit of a tough angle. Because Mars is what? Your action. Saturn is sort of in the restriction and sort of scope. You need to be focused. So you can see that he just definitely does really focus very tightly on things. But the square is a difficult angle. So you can see his frustration rising up when he's talking. You can see that aggressiveness behind him. So even though he's restrained, it's almost like he's weaponizing that restraint. It's almost, he's aggressive, but it's in his tone. Now, there's a lot of frustrated ambition that comes along with this. You can see he's very, like I mentioned, very intense about things. It's a controlled aggression, but when he is provoked, so if you get an upper hand with him, he'll be ruthless in coming back with you. So that it's difficult to sort of in effect spar with someone like this. And some of this is coming out in his speech. It's also coming out in his actions. Now, he does have Sun trining Neptune, so that does indicate that, he does have soft power here. And some of that soft power is because of what? Neptune, his beliefs. So he does have an idealistic purpose, a presence, and he does have a sense of purpose. And that really comes across very loud and clear in what he does. Now, he's got Mercury conjunct Mars, and you can definitely see this one in him. He loves to, be combative verbally. He wants to be provocative. Words are his weapons. Adversarial. So when you think about it, he's like a rhetorical warrior. Verbal aggression, polarizing. So all of these, he uses this as his weapons. And that sort of goes along with the Mars square Saturn, where maybe actions are sort of restrained in some way, but not his words. Okay? We also have Mercury tri-Uranus. Now, this means he's going to have a very sharp mind. He's wired, radical insights, and he can also process very complex ideas very quickly. That means that if you are in a debate with him, it would be difficult to, you know, to sort of be on the same level with him because he's going to process things very quickly. You can come up with arguments that may have taken you a week to sort of formulate, and he'll be able to formulate right back very quickly. Now, he's unconventional. He thrives in fast-paced environments. So again, very quick on his feet. So media, things like press conferences, and what he goes for is shock value. So remember that, it's shock value. He also has Venus trying Saturn, which you look and, this is usually a softening of Saturn. Venus is, it in effect, it softens the persona, the structure of Saturn. But in this case, because Mars is squaring Saturn, Venus really doesn't have too much of a chance. But what it does bring across is he's principled. He's loyal. He's disciplined. His public image is going to lack some of the flair and spontaneity, though, because it's going more to the Saturn end than to the Venus. But if he could actually tone down the Mars, he could be actually he could really get through to people very effectively, and not just the base he currently has. So that's actually something, saying something quite provocative about him. Now, as a note, he is, when you see or hear him debate, you can see he is just so focused on what he is saying. And a lot of that is because he has 5 planets that are in what you will call the fixed signs. The fixed signs are the ones that are very hard to move from their opinions. What are the fixed signs? You've got Taurus, and Taurus is known for being stubborn. It's it's the bull. You've got Leo, the lion. That's stubborn. Scorpio, which is the scorpion. And then you have Aquarius. So all of these are fixed, which means that they don't tend to move from their position easily. And you can see that in his makeup. He's not moving from his position. He's going to fight that. And, on the plus side, in this administration, he would be considered very loyal. So when these signs are loyal, they do not easily change size, which can be an issue. So when it comes to power struggles, they may actually not do well if another fraction starts getting more power. So I leave you with that, and hopefully later on I'll be able to look at his things that are coming up. Have a good one now. Bye.